and welcome to my channel. My name is Lisa. I hope you're all having a wonderful and creative day, and I'm so glad you decided to join me today. Now, hopefully you saw yesterday's video where I made these belly bands that flip, belly band, that flip and have a pocket and a pocket. I made quite a few. I love them. They're great. They even look better today, if I can say so myself. So, I hinted, if you saw this video, I hinted that I had some ideas to make some tags for these. So let me show you what I came up with. So the first one involves these cards, which are, they're called bookmarks. They were on Temu, but they're like a pretty thick chipboard, and I'm like upside down here. But they're bookmarks, they're vintage, fun kind of deal. Now, if you don't have those, I'm going to show you how I'm going to make some similar to that. So I'm going to put that to the side. But I did make, so this one. So my idea is I don't play with my little Tim Holtz people too much. And I have the set of the small ones. I've got kids, tiny Tim Holtz kids, and some tiny Tim Holtz singles. They are smaller than, they're the same people. You'd recognize them all. The guy with the flag, but they're smaller version. They come, I think you get like 2 or 3 of each too in the package. So you get a ton of them when you get the tiny package. But yeah, I've been wanting to play with those. I'm going to close these before I flip this off my desk, because this morning I flipped this off my desk. Yeah. That card I was mentioning in the last thing is supposed to be coming today. So I can get some of my Craft-A-Lanch out of here because I still have it from yesterday. But I digress. So I wanted to play with that, and I thought these were fun. And all I did was add a little label to that. It's white on the back, so it is easily written on. But he's cute in there. And then the second one I made is this one. I made it out of the comic book board. The link is in the description from Amazon. I mentioned that I use this stuff on a lot of things, but I have pieces of comic book board that, see one here. It's hard to see, but see there's a little white piece of paper in here where I would glue something like a digital to it to make it a tag, and then I cut it off, and I have these pieces left over that I saved because I wasn't sure if they'd ever make, you know, what I'd make out of them. But sure enough, figured out something to do with them finally. I made a tag. I have covered it in some papers, and I have a couple options here. I've got these like invoices, and I've got smaller ones here to cover up with them, and I've got some of these and some here. So I have a whole bunch. So I covered them with those kind of papers, which is very similar to kind of what those look like. Added a label, and then I also have these strips that I hardly ever use. They were, I don't know which one to call them. I have seen them before, but they're just, they're like snippets, but they're on PET tape. And I haven't really used them, but I thought these could be perfect for these because they're nice and tall and skinny. So I added one of those, and again, a little label. And I have, this is grungy numbers from J. Lilu. So just similar, like I said, to what these are, just bigger. So I made my own bookmarks out of comic book board. I did cut these to be 1 7/8, just under 2 inches, because this pocket was 2.5, and by the time you glue it, I cut it 2 inches originally, and it was just snug. I didn't want to end up ripping the corners out. It was just a little bit snug. So this 1 7/8 was perfect. But again, you would go ahead and measure your own to see what you have. These bookmarks are only 1 inch and, not quite 3/4, between about 1.5 inches. But they fit nicely in there. So there are those. So let's make a couple of those. And then I got a couple other ideas for some other stuff maybe. We'll have to see how that goes. All right. So we're going to go from there. And, oh, that's what I said. I had some ideas for If you saw yesterday's video, when I was making the pockets, there was cutoffs. So I could probably use those to make some cards too. All right, so for these, I'm gonna grab my invoice things here, and we're gonna use some of these. I'm gonna find stuff that's got a little bit more. Ooh, this is blue and green. This could be fun. Put that with that, maybe. All right, now obviously these are too big, but what I ended up doing, I can't wait till this card arrives. Okay, this is the last video I'm doing before that card arrives. And take that. All right, so what I ended up doing was, again, since there is those papers on there, I'm going to glue to that side so the back is a little cleaner. And I did put the glue straight on this card. And then glue this on, and then I'm going to cut it away after. I could wrap it around, but I want to leave that blank for writing on. All right, and that did not go down far enough. Actually, I think I'm gonna rip that, save that for something else, and put something else on there, just to give it two different things. All right, that has some bluish lettering on there. Let's use that. All right, we're gonna rip this, and I'm just gonna put a little ink on there on the top, just to give a little bit of definition. Yeah, that'll work good. Okay. So pretty simple to cover these and make them look like a fun background. Now you could take any sort of, masterboard cutoff and do this. I think I forgot to say how tall these were. They are approximately just shy of 7 inches, which is good because those pockets I made or belly bands I made were 8 inches tall. So these cutoff boards that are 7 are perfect. All right, so I am just gonna go ahead and cut this down. If there's a piece big enough, I will save it in my scrap pile. But a lot of these little ones, I'm just gonna pitch. You've seen my scrap pile. I'll keep those two. All right, so now we have that. Lovely. And I think I did round them, but I'm gonna wait a minute to round these because gluing. Okay, so we're gonna find a people. We're gonna find a people. I do have a set of, I have this thing in 3. There's actually 10 old singles. I have in small single people, small kids, and then couples and groups. So there's quite a few. Like I said, this is one, I'm pretty sure it was only one package. She looks sweet on there. Ooh. She's a little almost beheaded. Okay. He's kind of fun sitting. I'm trying to keep him up high because pocket. All right, I think I'll go with her. Now I am gonna just put a little bit of ink on the outside because these chipboards are a little thicker and they have their white showing, so just want to do that. Okay, so I want to get some sort of label that she can stand on so she's not just floating in the middle of the air. So we are going to grab some of these numbers, find something to put her on. Okay, I like that one. Okay, I'll cut. All right, let's find I do kind of like that one with the flowers. And the roses is pretty with her. Now don't be afraid if you ever get something like these PET sticker things to cut them to fit what you want to do. And I think I want the bow on the top. So we're gonna trim that off and put the bow on the top with her. And the numbers, yep, I like that much better. Okay, we're gonna put this down first so I know where to place her. I just don't want that blue to show. Now, if you don't like the PET stickers that are shiny, you can use matte medium gel to deglossify them. I've done that on these often, but I'm kind of warming up to that and not mind having it be shiny. All right, let's glue this label down. Put it right on the edge. And we're going to use our glitter glue since this is thicker. And we're going to have her. Okay. All right, let's round. So I'm going to round the top with the medium rounder. And I'm going to round the bottom with the tiny one, just kind of like nipping it off. Get rid of the side white. Yeah, okay, so I just want to put some sort of, oh, I had this sitting here. This is pretty. All right, I think I'm going to cut this off instead of wrapping it around. Holding my scissors upside down, handle-wise, is kind of weird. Yeah, it adds a little bit more, ties a little bit more of the green down there. All right, so some sort of label down there. And I have my mini labels here. Got some mini Tracy Fox ones in here that I still haven't cut out. And I think I like that one. These are on a sticker sheet of paper I printed, so I never cut them all out because they were just too tiny. And I figured I'd cut them as I need them. All right, we'll just put a little ink on the side of this. And we'll put that down there. And we're going to call this one done. Yeah, cute. So I'm just gonna grunge up the back a little bit. And there she is. So if we wanted to put it into one of these, you get the person hanging up. Little surprise in the bottom with the label, and perfect. But yeah, you can see it's not really snug, but you can tell that it's firmly in there with the 1 7/8. But yeah, cute. I like it. All right, so I pulled some stuff together for another one, and for this one, I'm using the cutoff that I had for when I made the original. When we made this one. So let's get that to the side. Let's put our glue back together and let's decorate this one. So like I said, when I was cutting if you saw the video, when I was cutting the pockets, it led to having a perfect size to make a tag. And this is a little bit thicker. I'm not worried about it being too flimsy to make a tag. I think it'll be fine. But if you're using pockets that are a little too soft, then maybe you want to back it with something just to give it a little extra strength. Not the worst thing in the world to do, but I think this is going to be fine. Okay, so I found, I found my little girl. I did find some, that'd be fun to put some words behind her. So again, we're going to put her up higher. And I was thinking about putting this stamp on there. And she could stand on that. All right, let's do that. Oh, I do have a little bit of washi tape too. All right, I think I'll put the washi tape underneath the label. Okay. So just a little bit of something to break that up. And I think this is a little crooked. So I'm going to straighten it up and I'm going to nip the outsides. Now, if I wasn't having such a craft-a-lanch, I'd probably get my alcohol markers and paint this a little bit more blue. But the stamping was none of blue, so I'm fine with that. Can't pick her up. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have her stand on it just a little below that. So, all right, we're gonna put the washi tape. I don't want to say, do I want it to wrap around? All right, I think I'm gonna to put this back here. Cover up the ends a little bit. A little bit of purple underneath there just for the glue, but that adds like a little right here, a little right in there. Yep, I like it. Okay, back to the front. So I'm going to put that right above that. And then I'll put her on there. Oh, I got to put the stamp above her, behind her head before she gets put down. All right, so you're going to go here. And we're going to put her on here. Put the stamp in the corner right there. Beautiful. All right. Well, let's see what else we can do. This would be cute with a hole and a ribbon, since it does look like a bookmark. That would be an option for these, because they really do have the shape of a bookmark, size-wise. And I did not put any of these on here. I do have some blue ones. All right, I see. All right, I like this. I'm going to cut this shape this way. It says unconditional love, and I think that would be pretty on here. I'm going to put it on the inside as a, when it gets open, it's like a hidden message. Yeah, that's cute. All right, so do I want to put this butterfly on here? Is it weird if the butterfly's near the bottom? I don't think it's weird if the butterfly's on there. I am going to cut it down though. So it's just the butterfly. There's like a, almost like a heart above it that I could say for something else. But I do like just the butterfly. Okay. Let's trim that off. Not quite a wingectomy like I've done before, since it was the background I cut, but yeah, that's pretty down there. I do like it. I like that one a lot. Very fun. Now when it goes in a pocket, you won't see it as much. Now, will I put it in this one because it's got the same color? Maybe. Really does look nice. Or do I put it in this one? Very similar colors. Nope, I think I like this one. Very fun. All right, I'm going to cut this heart out. I am going to toss that, believe it or not. Oops, stuck to me. Yes, you know what? That's what I'm going to do. So when this is glued down, this will be on the fold part. And we'll trim it. Yeah, we fold part, unconditional love. Cute on that side. I love it. Okay, very fun. I got her and her. And should I try to make one for this one? I say let's try. Kind of has like a steampunky kind of vibe. This is music notes. London, that's kind of fun. France. I thought I did see some music stuff, or maybe it was film strip stuff. I could find some Tim Holtz kind of person that looks like they were in London. All right, we're going to start by rounding. And I don't mind that it's not shown as much, it's subtle, because it's kind of meant to be more in the background. I am fine with that. Like, it probably would look better if I actually put it on something that is, you know, lighter, like that, but I am fine with that. Okay, well, let's see, is there some sort of I know there's traveler people. People with suitcases, people that look like they're on a vacation. She's got like a thermos. Well, he definitely looks like he could be coming from London. Okay, so I'm thinking that maybe, just to lighten it up a little bit, all right, I think I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna give this a trim. We're just gonna do London with the book. And let's find this washi tape that's kind of got like sprockets on it, which could be fun. Okay. All right, we're going to find a label. I'm going to have them stand there because I don't know what that is supposed to mean. I'm going to have them stand there. Put a little washi tape on there. Everything is so round, it doesn't want to lay flat for me to see what it looks like. Okay, definitely want to do that. My question is, it seems disjointed. It seems just a bit disjointed. How about some black washi tape? Okay, we're gonna put those two up there. Okay, he's gonna go there. Still seems like there should be something behind his head. All right, we're gonna put this down here. Maybe I got some sort of stamp. Okay. Our dude from London is almost done. Yeah, I think he needs some sort of stamp or something behind his head. My go-to is usually a number label, but since I got a number there, I don't want it to be a little too repetitive. I have these blank ones. Put it over here, and I'm going to cut a little bit of it off. Those are the Tim Holtz stamps. Oh yeah, he feels much better now, right? I never did put this on there. Well, that is okay, because technically the part that I cut off the top, I think had the sprockets, right? The gears, so I'm okay with not putting that on there. All right, let's glue him down, and we will call this a video done. So I hope you enjoyed that. A new way to use little people. Put them on bookmarks because they're skinny, and they're a little bit more their size than a big journal card. Yeah, I'm a traveling dude. There we go. Whoop. Beautiful. All right. Yeah, cute. I like it. I'm gonna put the sprockets down there with some washi tape. Let's do that. All right, this is that paper tape. All right, I'm gonna cut the beginning off. We're gonna snip it there. All right, you are a little too tall for this, so I'm gonna do another surgery. Actually, I'm going to make it a stamp. I never knew what to do with these, but this would be perfect. I think I need one of these longer ones. Yeah, let's make it a stamp. Okay. Well, look at that. Using up stuff I haven't used before. Not before, but I've used these stamps before, but never these white ones. I didn't know what quite to do with them. And my Tim Holtz little people, don't use them too often. So this was a good way to get to use them. just gonna, a little bit of that is hanging over. Cute. Yep, I like it. All right, so do I go to it? Do I do a number? Of course. Got to put a little number there. All right, 5 cents. I'll leave my 5 cents. Yeah, so cute. I love it. And then that one for the pocket. A butterfly, and we did that side with the unconditional love. I should have made sure it was spelled right. Unconditional love. And the heart. And then we made her to go somewhere. Very cute little blues and teals. I love it. I love it. I think that's the only ones we made today. I had the original ones. Very simple. Him and them. Yeah, I like it. All right, well, that is going to be it for me today. I hope you enjoyed that video. Thumbs up would be awesome. Any questions or comments, I am always up to take those. And yeah, fun. All right, well, thanks for stopping by. And as usual, I hope you all have a wonderful and creative day. Bye now.